All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here another Wednesday night, and you know what that means. It's time for Tight End Loose Out. I am your co-host, Dynamite Dave, here live in Casa La Dynamite, and coming to you all the way from Florida. He is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Willie Patterson.
Hello, folks. How you guys doing today? Hopefully, you guys are having yourselves a great Wednesday out there today. Hopefully, everything went as smooth as the rest of the week. Hopefully, you guys have a better Thursday and an even better Friday. So, as you guys can see, we got two guests today. We had a lot of SuperModified racing going on this weekend. So we're going to have to just jump right on into it. But of course, I got to ask Dave. Dave, how was your weekend, buddy? How's your week going?
Oh man, it was fabulous, Willie. Great day for racing, great weather-wise. We sat up out at Jamie's Flea Market, passed out some tickets. We had some 350 Supers on hand. We had some sprint cars on hand and some modifieds on hand. All great shows. Great modified race. Spencer Steinman made the pass on lap number 3 on the outside to take over from Terry Groner with 3 to go, and Zach Miller ended up winning that race. And how about the 61-year-old Denny Fisher winning his first feature back in a super modified out of a 6-year hiatus? And then Fisher Custom Graphics, who is a sponsor of the show, number 81, the family-owned car. He was there. Man, he had a great race, and he had some challenge from the number 40, who was normally driven by Sawyer Stout, but JJ Hennis hopped in it, and he was wheeling that thing. So kudos to them, man. Great day for racing, like I said, and glad to see some supers at Lorain Raceway Park, and glad to see a good fan count out there.
Don't worry, Dave. It will always be Lorain County Speedway. I've already got it written down as Lorain County Speedway. It will never change. You are fine here on this show to go ahead and call it Lorain County Speedway. I do not call it whatever it is. Lorain Raceway Park? Is that what they call it?
Yep, Lorain Raceway Park. I had every other week too, Lorain Raceway Park. Sometimes it slipped. It said Lorain County Speedway. Yeah. I just yes, Lorain Raceway Park.
Yeah. No, I'll never call it that. For over 45 years, I've called it Lorain County Speedway, and I ain't going to start now. So, but with that being said, as you guys know, I went on a cruise, so I had a pretty good weekend, but it was all work related. So I had to go ahead and do my schmoozing, my mayoral things on the roofing side down here in Florida. Just want to go ahead and let you guys know, please, everybody, if you could, hit the like button. All right, please get on there, hit that like button, let everybody know that you're watching Tight End Loose Out. I already see I got 5 likes already. Please, folks, let's get it up to 25. Let's get it up to 50. Just hit the like button, please. I would appreciate it. Yes, it helps. It helps the show. It helps grow the show. It gives us more viewers. So whenever Dave goes live, they see what happens is it's a whole algorithm, folks. So please hit that like button, hit the love, hit the math. I don't care. Just show some type of emotion, folks. I don't ask for much. I know you guys can't give money, and I appreciate that. But the best way to go ahead and give money to us is just to hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate that, everybody. With that being said, Dave, let's get to the sponsors. We'll get to the racing, and then we'll bring on our first guest. All right, everybody. The official show sponsor, Fisher Custom Graphics. Fisher Custom Graphics is based out of Wellington, Ohio. Their phone number is 440-371-8424. As you guys can see, Fisher Custom Graphics did this beautiful banner here behind me that actually have T-shirts that are being made as we speak now also as well. They do all sorts of promotional things for race cars. They do it for businesses. They letter race cars. If you guys got cups or whatever it is that you guys have promotional for your business that you want to put out there, get a hold of Fisher Custom Printing, and I promise you they'll take good care of you. Use promo code TIGHTENDLOOSEOUT, and you'll go ahead and get a discount, and tell them Will Patterson sent you. Then we got Kingsley's Mowing, based out of Oswego, New York. Phone number is 315-751-1160. That's Kingsley's Mowing. And based out of Oswego, New York, Jason's been a longtime friend of mine, pretty much almost all my life. He's out here busting his ass and doing a really good job. You can use promo code I love the black guy or promo code I hate DJ. So he will give you a discount. If you call up Jason and just say, hey, I love the black guy, you'll get a discount. Tell him Will Patterson sent you. Support our sponsors that are supporting us. Then you got Catalone's Pizzeria. You'll never find a meatier calzone than at Catalone's. That's right. Based out of Fennable, New York. That's Zach Catalone, home of the stuffed crust pizza. Nobody stuffs a crust like Big Zach. Then you got Rupert's Party Rental. Rupert's Party Rental is based out of Oswego area, Fulton, Oswego, Mexico area. His phone number is 315-532-4304. You can also get a hold of him through email at rupertpartyrentals@yahoo.com. Rupert's has chairs, tables, tents, dunk tanks, and bounce houses. I'm going to set up something with Rupert for Classic Weekend. It's going to have a dunk tank involved. So I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to be a good time. And if you guys got any type of weddings coming up, graduations coming up, confirmations, baptisms, any type of party, if you guys just want to go ahead and just throw a Hellraiser in the backyard, get a hold of Rupert's Party Rental. Tell them Will sent you. And again, use promo code Tight End Loose Out. Then we got Al Miller. Buddy, let me tell you something. I got a lot to talk about, my boy Al. Love talking with Al on the phone. Al called me last week. He was pretty pumped up, and for rightfully so. So we'll be talking about Al here real soon. But Al is the owner of the number 69 SuperModified, driven by Clayton Carl now. That's official. That's out there. And they had a really good run over the weekend. We're going to have a good conversation about that. And Al's an avid supporter of the show. It would not surprise me if Al's not watching it right now. I'm seeing that Larry and Lisa Gibson's watching right now. He says, I'm here, I'm early. So thank you, Larry, for getting on here. And Al, thank you very much for supporting us. So we got Atkins Glass based out of Sandusky, Ohio. Their phone number is 419-625-8421. That's 419-625-8421. That's Atkins Glass. And they do all sorts of automotive and RV glass replacements. So if you have a crack in your windshield, go ahead and get a hold of Randall and Courtney. They'd be more than happy to take care of you. Let them know that Tight End Loose Out sent you. Promo code, guess what? Tight End Loose Out.
Al Miller, what's up, my guy? Happy to see you at Lorraine Raceway Park this past Saturday.
There he is. Oh, I'm here, buddy. He says, "Oh, I'm here. I'm here." He says. So what we're going to do is that we're going to get into Lorraine County Speedway's racing here that they had over the weekend for the Outlaw 350 series at Lorraine County Speedway. They had 17 cars on hand, folks. 17 for race number 2, and I know this much. I know for a fact. I can't divulge the information that I know. I never give up my sources. But 2 were bought last week. 2 were bought last week. So that's going to move them up to 19. Now, whether those cars make it out this year or not, it's up in the air. I don't think that they will. I think they're going to do it the right way. They're going to strip them down. They're going to take care of them, and they're going to put them all back together again. And so look for those cars to be out next year. But right now, they're at 17. 1 did come from Oswego, so I guess that would take them down to 16. But you never know who else is coming out. I know there's like 3 or 4 other guys out there that are finishing up their cars or waiting on motors to get finished. So there's a good chance we might get up to 14 cars by the end of the year this year for the Outlaw 350 series, which is looking very promising. I remember when it first came out, I think there was only 3 Supers 3 or 4 years ago, and it's really, really growing. And as you guys know, I'm an avid fan of these 350s. I see a future with these guys. And the Gibsons are doing a really, really good job. So with that being said, fastest qualifier was Danny Shirey. Then they had the fast dash after that, which is
let's get into that. The new track record holder.
Danny. I'm sorry. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. Danny Shirey broke another track record. He's 2 for 2 on the season right now with that new Muldoon chassis that he's got. So he's lighting it up right now in the Outlaw 350 series. I honestly, Dave, if Danny was going to win on Saturday, I was going to put a bounty on Danny. I was going to call up Larry and tell Larry, put a bounty on his ass. I was going to go ahead and put the money up and put a bounty on him. But he didn't win, and I'm sorry to spoil the ending, but Danny, I'm telling you right now, buddy, you go ahead and keep ripping a couple of those bad boys off. Tight end Loose Out's going to put a bounty on your ass. But Danny wound up going out, and they had the fast dash, which I like this fast dash deal. It's the top 6 fastest cars. They go ahead and they have a fast dash. Danny Shirey wound up winning it. Tyler Capodice wound up finishing second. And J.J. Hennis, son of John Hennis, grandson of Ron Hennis, stepped out of his crate sprint car in his 305 dirt sprint car from Attica to come relieve Sawyer Stout in his 40. Sawyer let me know that he's got strep. Yeah, well, not strep, was a mono. He's got mono. And under the weather, just didn't feel that he was going to be able to go ahead and race the car. Called up his best friend, J.J. Hennis. And J.J. said, yeah, I think we can make that work. And J.J. did pretty damn good. Heat number 1 went to, you know what? Let's start third to first. Heat number 1, third place finisher was Noah Ratcliffe. Second place was rookie Pork Chop, Rich DeWitt Jr. I've known Rich since he was literally a little pork chop, and that's what he looked like, a little butterball pork chop. But he's lost some weight, and he wanted to go super modified racing. So rookie Rich DeWitt wanted to finish in second, and then you have the number 69, owned by Al Miller, driver Clayton Carl, wins the heat number 1. And let me tell you something, I bet you, I'm willing to bet from the pit stands to the trailer, Al Miller's feet never touched the ground. I bet you it disrupted one pebble in that whole pit area. I bet you he was walking on there. I know he's walking on sunshine. I know for a fact he was. Tommy Slater, I see you on, brother. I see you. So, hey, congratulations to Clayton Carl. Congratulations to Al Miller and the whole Al Miller team. I'm so happy for you. And Al, see, look, that car is a fast car, buddy. I know you knew it was. You just wanted to live out your dream. Now you can live out your dream and let Clayton get all the wins. You keep all the trophies, brother. Clayton's got enough. You tell Clayton I said that too. And Clayton's a sponsor of the show, by the way. So heat number 2, third place finisher was Todd Buchanan. Second place was my buddy. You know, Danny, I don't know if you're watching this or not, but buddy, let me tell you, ain't no spring chicken. But the old man, Danny Fisher, wound up finishing second. First place in second heat was Kevin Mingus in the sprint car. Mingus bringing it home in the sprinter. That's awesome to see.
And he also finished third in the feature.
Well, Dave, can I get to the feature first?
I'm sorry. I was just so happy about his run. I mean, he did a great job.
Fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and just email this over to you, Dave, and you can just tell it.
I'm just messing with you, Willie.
I know you are, man. So am I. I'm just giving you a hard time, man. So now we're here to the feature, okay? And then we got Pork Chop again, finishing 5th in the feature. Rich DeWitt Jr. Double J.J. Hennis wound up finishing 4th. Excellent job. JJ's got some super modified racing experience already. He wound up driving his grandpa's Fame 36 super modified a couple years ago at his grandmother's memorial race at Lorraine County Speedway, and he wound up winning it. And that was pretty spectacular, pretty emotional for the family. So you know the kid's not shy when it comes to getting around Lorraine County Speedway. Then you got third place in the sprint car. Dave, who finished third?
Kevin Mingus.
Yeah. No enthusiasm, Dave. No enthusiasm. But yeah, Kevin Mingus and the sprinter wound up finishing third. Then second place was Clayton Carl in Al Miller's number 69 super modified. And congratulations, you guys, man. That's a hell of a run. Second place in the feature. I mean, I know Al's so excited for this season. I know he is. And I talked to Al. He's got some big plans going on, man. And Al, I'm all for you, brother. And then you got the winner of the race, old man Denny Fisher, 61 years old, out there showing the youngsters how to get it done. He led green to checkered. the boys just didn't have nothing for him. They'd get up on the outside, and Denny would just do his thing, And good for Denny. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret right now about this. Denny Fisher, that won the race, his son-in-law, which is married with his son-in-law Clayton, which is married to Denny's daughter Bethany. Clayton won and finished in second. So his father and son-in-law 1 and 2 for the race, and I don't know if that's ever happened in super modified racing history.
Really?
You guys tell me. What does that say? Lasecki was second. I don't have that.
Yeah, AJ Lasecki was second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Justin. I don't, for whatever reason, I had Clayton finishing second. Well, I'm sorry, but still, all in all, you guys had a good race. I apologize, fans. Hey, buddy, we got sixth in the feature. Okay, so, but hey, it is whatever it is. I am allowed to screw up. I don't know. I got it off of Facebook. I don't know why it's all wrong for it. But with that, and now we're going to get to the Star 350 race. I looked up for Star. I could not find any of their race results, but I do know the one race result, and he's going to be our guest soon as after I say this. He swept the night. The guy probably last year probably had the worst luck of all super modified racing history that I've ever seen in my life. He hit a push. Well, I guess the push truck hit him, or he hit the push truck. Maybe we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But, ladies and gentlemen, our guest, the sweep at Star, Bobby Timmons. Hey, Bobby, what's going on, buddy? You there, Bobby?
Bobby, are you there?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Give me a second here.
Okay, I got you. You got us, Bobby?
Yeah, I can barely hear you. I don't know. I could hear you clear as heck before, but I'll try to listen closely.
Okay, all right. Well, sorry about that for any technical difficulties there. So, Bobby, you went out there, you brought the broom with you, you slept the night at Starlab on Saturday night. What was the preparation leading up into Star this past weekend?
I'm sorry, Willie. I can't hear you. I'm trying to get it to come through, but I don't know where we messed this up. Give me a second here.
Hey, Bobby, go back out and try to come back in. Maybe that'll work. That link is still good. So just go back out and try to come back in.
Yeah, I don't know if that's any better. We'll try.
How about now, Bobby?
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Bobby, jump out, jump back in. Go out and come back in. Hey, Dave, can you boot him out?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Boot him out, and then maybe he'll go ahead and wisen up and try to come back in again. There you go. Okay, he left. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and just go over to Delaware. Actually, you know what? We're going to go to Lancaster. We're going to do a little bit backwards because our next guest, he wound up taking care of business up there in Delaware. But then we had Lancaster Speedway. They had 21 cars on hand. Qualifying, I don't know what's going on in the water right now in super modified racing world right now, but another new track record was set by Otto Sitterly, and that's just crazy that Otto went up there, and Danny setting track records and Otto setting track records, and the next race I'm going to talk about set a track record. These guys are starting to really figure it out, and it's really interesting.
You got Bobby back.
Okay, let's see if we got Bobby right now. Bobby,
yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, sorry about
there
that.
There we go. All right. Hey, nothing we can't take care of.
Well, and it's too bad because normally I could do this at my house, and I have a full-on podcast setup at my house. I do 2 other shows, so took me on a tough night. We're at the shop working on the cars, getting them ready for this weekend.
Right, Bobby, I didn't know you did podcasting.
Yeah, so me and my buddies, Brad and Charlie, we do one called Black Flag Podcast. We ruffle a lot of feathers and stir up a lot of controversy, but it's fun. And then we have another one where it's a local one here to Maine. Doesn't really have anything to do with racing, but I enjoy talking. So
Right. Well, I'm birds of a feather. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's never been my something that's been how can I put this? It's never been something I've been weak at is talking. So that's for damn sure. But so as I was saying, you went up to Star over the weekend. You broke out the broom. You swept the night. Lead us up into the preparation that you go through to get the car ready to be able to go ahead and do something like that.
Yeah, it's funny. This 350 car, we rewind back to a year ago. I'm sure all your fans saw the video of the super modified getting smoked by a push truck. That was me.
Yeah.
We've completely rebuilt the car after that, cut the rear clip off, had to put a rear end in it, top wing, half a body, right front suspension. It pretty well destroyed the car. And ever since then, we changed some things in it, and the car's been super fast. And we ended up winning the Star Classic last year, but 350 racing hasn't really been our main priority. We've been running the New England Super Modified Big Block Series, and those big block cars, as you guys all know, take all of the time and effort. And that 350 car just goes so good. Really, just a nut and bolt check and buy some tires for it and put air in the wing is all we've done since last year. We've won 3 races in a row dating back to last year, and in all honesty, the 2 before the Star Classic last year, we probably should have won those and just had bad circumstances. So going into the night the other night, just was going through the motions as usual, and figured we'd have a chance to win at least one of them, but never would have guessed we'd win both of them.
So where'd you start at in the first feature?
The first feature, we had done time trials about 5 weeks ago, and we've been rained out, and they pushed the race back to this past weekend. Jeffrey had got the pole. I had been on the outside pole, and they did an invert of 4. One of the drivers that was supposed to start in front of me, I was supposed to start third, didn't make the call, so I started second and ran second for about half the race before I took the lead just before the halfway mark.
Was you just like laying back, kind of just saving the stuff, or was you just he started fading away?
No, I wanted to lead every lap. The first race was the Bob Weber Jim Martell Memorial, and I paid lap money. I think it paid $25 a lap to lead, so I wanted to lead every lap. James Whitcomb started on the pole, and he got a really good start. And by really good, I mean before we were supposed to start, but that's okay. So we were about the same speed, and just took me a few laps to catch back up, and then we caught lap traffic, and I got by him. In that traffic, and then he actually ended up crashing shortly after. And but we held on to the lead and never looked back.
Right. So you come in from winning the first race. We do a lot of twin 50 racing down here in Florida with our super late model. And matter of fact, you've met the driver that race car that I work on, Michael Goddard.
Yep.
And so I hate the twin 50s. I know this was like a one-off deal. What was it? I mean, the car's hot. You got to get the car. Were you allowed to change tires in between races or same tires?
No, we could. The 350s at Star have a 2-tire a week rule after opening day, so we could put 2 more on. They don't very typically do double features. It's just it rains every weekend in the Northeast for some reason. I mean, we're going on like 13 straight weekends of rain.
Yeah.
So Star was just trying to get some racing in for us. Like I said, we qualified for the first race in the first weekend of May. It was almost 5 weeks before we got to actually run the feature. They don't run the 350s every week at Star, so they just wanted to do double races on a night that we were all going to be there. So that's kind of atypical for them. But yeah, we could put 2 tires on. We could work on them. They treated it as if it was another event.
Oh, okay. All right, then. That's good. That's good. So, yeah. How was the car handling in the first race compared to the second race?
It's funny. I actually really wasn't happy with it. It was pretty tight, and Jeffrey Battle has been the guy to beat forever up here. He ran second, and he said in his interview he was too tight too. So it sounds like he was fighting the same thing. We both kind of maybe overcompensated for how free a super modified typically tends to get, and just over tighten the cars up for that first one.
Right. So, where'd you start at for the second feature?
So they did an invert out of all the cars that finished on the lead lap. We had 14 cars there. 7 cars finished on the lead lap of the first event, and I started 7th. And realistically, didn't think. I mean, that's that's coming from pretty deep in a super modified field to win. I was lucky last year. I came from 8th and won the Star Classic, so it can be done. But had Jeffrey Battle, had Eddie Wickham, had Ryan Battle, Joey Scanlon, a lot of good cars starting in front of me, a lot of experience, and it was just one of those races that I couldn't have screwed it up even if I tried. Joey didn't quite get a good start, hung Jeffrey Battle up on the outside, so I got by those two right on the first lap. The guy running third drove off the racetrack, so I got by him, passed Eddie Whitcomb under green, and was running third to John Leonard and Ryan Battle. Caught up to him on like lap 10. I think it was a 40 lapper. And on lap 11, they made contact, and they both ended up off the top of the 2-turn, spun out. So had the lead 11 laps into the race, and was kind of like, holy crap, that was kind of easy. They never come that easy and that luckily. So
it sounds like they just gave you a gift.
Yeah, it was like they pulled over and waved me on by.
So yeah, for sure. I just let's touch on last year's bad luck, and we won't get into the push truck and stuff like that, and this and that. That's what happened. But there was more to just the push truck. I mean, there was a lot. You had a lot of bad luck last year.
Yeah. It didn't start off good. Opening night at Star, I got put in the wall in the first lap, ripped the right front off. And then the second week was the push truck. We went back after the push truck wrecked us, and a brand new distributor broke in the heat race. So I had to start dead last in the feature and could only get to 7th. And by then, we're pretty much out of the points, and there's no shot of even making a comeback. And on the flip side, we were going to run the big block stuff part-time.
Yep.
And that was going well enough that come July, we found ourselves the point leader in that series. And we were like, well, I guess we ought to keep running that car. And so we kind of changed gears, committed to running full time with the New England Super Modified Series, and kind of kicked back our 350 stuff. And we went back to Star in July, late July, leading the race, put a straightaway on the field in the first 8 laps, and coming to the green on a restart, the car on my outside knocked the right front off, and we both hit the front stretch wall. And after that night, I said, I'm done racing 350s. I can't handle racing with these guys. It's just too much bad luck. Too much bad stuff keeps happening to me. And so we parked the car until the Star Classic, focused on the big block. And we ended up winning a big block race at Oxford and had multiple podiums. And came back for the Star Classic. We won it with the crate car, finished third with the big block car, and pretty much just kind of coasted to a championship in the New England Super Modified Series. So for all the bad things that happened last year, enough good happened at the end of the year. It kind of all canceled itself out.
Right. So not many people, I had Russell on a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even get around to asking him, but what do you think, how's the New England Super Modified Series looking for you?
I mean, they do a good job. There's things that they could probably do better, but also there's really no other options for big block super modified racing for us guys in New England. I mean, ISMA comes around a couple races a year, but obviously guys that have just big block cars want to race more than once or twice a year. For me, it was the only reason we ever built it was to run it 2 or 3 times a year. So, they give us a good place, a good series to run. We go to Star a few times. We go to a couple cool tracks, White Mountain Motorsports Park and Thunder Road. Which are 2 awesome high bank quarter-mile tracks that are fun. We get to go to Thompson and then Oxford, which is my home track. So it's a perfect little series for me. I don't quite have the budget and the engineering that some of these guys have. Just me and my dad and whatever we can dream up for an idea at our machine shop here in Maine. But it's a good series for us. I know some people kind of clown on it and call it the JV Heat Race Series because we don't have a ton of cars, but I can tell you that I still have to race against the Vic Miller 11, the Howie Lane 97, the Russ Wood 29, and John McKennedy, Jeffrey Battle. All of us, all those are good cars that I know when the ISMA Tour comes to town. Dan Bowes, I can't forget him too. He's real good. I know when ISMA comes to town, those guys are all contenders there too. So I don't really think it's as low level as the series as some of the internet Facebook heroes like to say it is, but I think it's a good group of guys, and we get anywhere from 12 to 16 cars a race, and I don't think that's too terrible.
No, not at all. And our next guest that's coming on, Trent, he'll tell you when he used to run MSS and MSA, they used to say the same thing about the Ohio guys too. You know, yeah, you guys aren't racing with the big boys because you're not racing with ISMA. So it's definitely one of those things. Is there anyone like Rallo up there to broadcast races? Yes, Gene Ellen. Flo actually does. Flo and Racing America covers a lot of your guys' racing up there.
Yeah, we get the races at Thunder Road are on Flow. The majority of the other ones are all on Racing America. Then there's another series that just got started, New England Sports TV Network. I think they cover Thompson and Thunder Road, or Thompson and White Mountain, rather.
Okay.
A little bit confusing to kind of keep up with it all, but I think for the most part, everything's available on streaming.
Yeah, definitely. So, no, I'm all. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm all in on these 350s. I hope you guys have great support up there with the NESS series. I really do. I wish I could cover them more on here. It's kind of hard getting their finishes and stuff. And you guys run on weird days too. On top of that, like you guys ran like on a Wednesday or a Thursday or something like that. Also.
Yeah, we ran Thursday last week because that's what Thunder Road's weekly series has been for years, which is great for the locals. It works for them. Place was packed. They have huge car counts in every division, but for us, it's brutal. It's just me and my dad at the machine shop, so take half a day off of work on a Thursday to go race, and it's 3.5 hours. So you haul up there, you haul back and race. By the time you get home, it's 1 a.m, and you really ain't worth much the next day at work. So it's tough. I really wish they could keep us more on weekends, but for the most part, most of the races are on weekends. I know we have a Wednesday show at Oxford and a Wednesday show at Thompson this summer too, for whatever reason. But yeah, it's a little all over the place. I can understand why it'd be hard to follow if you're not from up here.
Yeah, definitely. So with that being said, I definitely plan on getting you on. I want to know your career. I've only or now you're Bobby Timmons. Are you related to any other super modified Timmons in the super modified world?
Yeah, so my grandfather raced at Star in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. Bob Timmons Sr. My dad raced ISMA, raced at Lee, raced at Star up until the mid 2000s. Bobby Timmons Jr. obviously, and then I started. I think I started 350 Supers in 2014. Kind of bounced back and forth between those and late models. Before full-time 2017, 2018, went full-time super racing and got done with the fender stuff. Absolutely would love to come on anytime. Like I said, I got a much better setup at home that is better than me holding my phone at a picnic table at my race shop. But
I'll definitely be getting a hold of you at the end of the season, and hopefully you'll have another NESS championship that we can talk about the whole season. But I want to ask you a few questions like I do all my guests, and then I'll let you go ahead and talk about it after that. I always ask the drivers, what's your favorite racetrack to race at?
It's fun. I'm not really like a favorites guy. I mean, I do really enjoy several tracks we go to. Waterford Speed Bowl was probably the most fun to drive around. The racing was tough with the 350s because you're pretty well wide open. I really like Star Speedway. I think it puts on the best super racing between big blocks and small blocks. Thompson is a blast if you love going fast. We had a 350 super race there in 2020, and you could hold it wide open all the way around the racetrack. That was probably one of the most badass things I've ever done. I just love super racing, man. At any racetrack that's willing to have a super modified race, that'll be my favorite until the race is over, and look forward to the next one.
All right. If I went into your cabinet at your house and your snack cabinet, your pantry, what's that one snack that Bobby always has at the house?
Protein bars, man. I'm big on those. That's every morning I'll have one for breakfast. And then when we're racing, I have a hard time finding time to stop and eat a meal. We're so busy. So I'll always throw one or two of them in my backpack or my driver helmet bag, and always got to stay strapped with the protein bars.
All right. What's your favorite type of food?
I like Chinese food. I like sushi. It's fun. A funny story real quick. We built this big block car in 2022, brand new. And I didn't fit in it when we built it. Dad's like, well, you either going to lose some weight or I'm going to drive it. And that was the motivation I needed. I lost 50 pounds in 6 months and changed my diet, changed all my eating habits. I used to eat a lot of fried foods, a lot of pizza, a lot of bread. And now I try to stay right away from all that. I meal prep lunches now, a lot of salads. And I'm not a 100% health nut. I'll still enjoy a slice of pizza now and then. And everyone that knows me knows I love an ice cold beer. So if I had to pick my favorite food, it's probably sushi or Chinese food.
Trust me, I used to weigh 332 pounds. I'm down to 252 now. So I get it. And I'm trying to fit into a super modified myself. I want to do the 2-seater ride at Oswego for the Classic. So I think if I get down to 200, I think I might be able to fit. Fingers crossed, but I don't know. We'll see. But so what's your favorite drink? Like, other than alcohol, what's your favorite? Like, is it water? Is it soda? Is it seltzers? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, I cut soda right out. I haven't had a soda probably 4 or 5 years. Drink a lot of water. I drink a lot of Alani nutrition energy drinks. So like I start every day with an Alani energy drink and a protein bar. A creature of habit all 7 days a week. So cherry twist flavored. Got to have that.
Okay. What type of music do you listen to?
It's all over the place, man. Like I play music when we're working on the shop, and I can't imagine what my guys think. I mean, it can go from Sabrina Carpenter to Blake Shelton to rap to rock. Anywhere. Dropkick Murphys. Emo punk music. I love that. I mean, it literally could be anything. I promise you. If I think it sounds good, it's on my playlist.
Great. When you're not racing, what is the one thing that you enjoy to do?
Like every other mid-30s white male, I've recently got into golfing lately, and I've been trying to do that. And I do enjoy that. Not very good at it. Way better race car driver than I am golfing. Mess around with iRacing during the off season. Some not very good at that either. I like going to the gym. And honestly, I like working on these super modifieds. Half of the fun for me is we build everything we can. I build all my own wings, my bodies, chassis, nerve bars, all that stuff. And that to me, when it's not wrecked and there's no deadline, when you can build stuff for fun, I truly enjoy that. So
I get it. Well, Bob, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank this time that you don't want to forget about Victory Lane?
Yeah, absolutely. Wearing their hats, Seacoast RVs, they're my biggest sponsor, my best support, and I forgot to thank them in the first race the other night. So luckily I won the second one and had a chance to thank them. They've been awesome. They spoiled me, tents and fire suits and all that stuff. So big thanks to them. Prime Cut Landscaping, Matt Corbo, he jumped on with us this year. Great help. One of my biggest supporters, Scott Martell Motorsports Restorations. Scott's really the reason we were able to win a championship last year. He did some stuff behind the scenes for us when we were having motor troubles to keep us going. Scotty wasn't there the other night at Star. I know he was bummed he missed out on a cool night like that. Timmons Machine and Fabrication, me and my dad, that's a sponsor, quote unquote. And then I do the 2 other podcasts, Black Flag Podcast and Main Event Podcast. Those kind of give me an outlet to build a platform and build a following, and I use that following as a sales pitch to companies like Seacoast, and so it all works out, it all ties together.
Cool. Next time you see Scotty, tell him the black guy from Ohio said what's up.
I'll have to let him know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Bobby, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to get you on next time. Maybe we'll do a dual podcast type thing or whatever together one day. And I appreciate you, man, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, when the season calms down a little bit, I'll definitely jump on. Like I said, I love to talk, so anytime.
Sweet. Yep, we can bullshit for hours.
10-4. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good one.
Yep, you too, Bobby. Bye-bye. All right. That's the first guest right there. Hey, folks, I see the likes got up to 14 on my end. Hit that like button, people. Hit the like, hit the love. If you guys even want to share some more love, hit the share. Share it. Let everybody know what's going on here. That helps out the show. I don't ask you guys for money, but if you guys could just share it, like it, love it, I would greatly appreciate it. You guys have no idea what this means to me when you guys share it for me. So like I was talking about, we're going to talk to Lancaster, then we're going to go into Delaware, and we're going to go with our future winner from Friday night. Lancaster had 21 cars on hand. Fastest qualifier was another new track record by Otto Sitterly. The heat race 1, third place was Mike McVetta. Second place was Johnny Benson. First place was Trent Stevens. In the second heat race, third place was Dan Connors Jr. Second place was last week's guest, Tyler Schulich. And first place, hailing out of Canada, Mark Samet. The third heat race, that's right, folks, they had 3 heat races. They had 21 cars on hand. Give it up for ISMA. Telling you guys, man, I hope you guys keep it up. I hope you guys keep building. I really do, because 21 cars is great. It's not what we're used to back from, the times of me growing up, but in these times right now, 21 cars, I can't bitch about that. Third heat race was Dave Danzer, finished in third. Second place was the new track record holder, Otto Sitterly. And first place was Mike Lichty, also hailing out of Canada also as well. Then you got the feature. Fifth place was Mike Lichty. Fourth place was Mark Samet. Third place was Mike McVetta. Second place was Tyler Schulich. And first place was Mike Ordway Jr. Now, folks, let me explain something to you here now, okay? I'm on a cruise, okay, and I'm watching this race. And thank you very much, Rolling with Rollo, for broadcasting this, because I'm watching this race, right? I'm sitting I don't know if I was at the dinner table or if I was I can't remember where I was, but I was watching this race. Mike Ordway Jr. did just a crazy move where Tyler Schulich was leading and Mike McVetta went high around the lap car. Ordway Jr. saw a hole, made a move, and set it and just set sail and wound up taking the lead and wound up winning. And I'm telling you right now, the guy's looking hot right now. I mean, he's got a first place on Saturday, and we're going to get to how he finished on Friday night. And we're going to lead into that with our next guest. But Delaware on Friday night, they had 18 cars on hand. Another new track record holder is Tyler Schulich. Last week's guest, Tyler, out there setting the track on fire to start the season off up there in Delaware, Canada. Heat races went as first heat race was Johnny Benson finishing third, Kyle Edwards finishing second, and Josh Sokolik finishing first. Nice job, Juice Box. First time sitting in the car, goes out and wins the heat race. You guys can be like, why did I call him Juice Box? You guys got to ask his crew about that. I won't divulge that information. Then you got the second heat race is this is the tale of the 3 mics right here. I was writing this information down and I'm like, wait a minute. It never dawned on me until now. But finishing third was Mike Ordway Jr. Second place was Mike Lichty, and first place was Mike McVetta. The 3 mics all finishing 1, 2, and 3 inside the second heat race. Then you got the third heat race was Dave Danzer, as I like to call him, the gambler. Second place was Trent Stevens, and the first place was Mark Samet, winning essentially at his home track. And then you got the feature. This was, I believe, just a one-way story right here. But you got fifth place was Mark Samet. Fourth place was Mike McVetta. He was holding strong. He really was. He was right up there, running a strong top 3. Third place was Kyle Edwards. Second place was Mike Ordway Jr., which was leading at one point, and then he got passed by his brother-in-law, which is our next guest, multi-time MSS champion, multi-time ISMA winner, and the man that literally went up to Delaware, Canada, with only him and his car owner as crew members. They were the 2-man wrecking crew. Ladies and gentlemen, put it together for our feature winner and our guest tonight, Trent Stevens. Unmute yourself there, Trent. You're muted. You're muted. Boy, I tell you what, these super modified guys, man. He's on mute. Jessica, if you're watching the show, go, oh, there he is. Right there you go. I got you now.
I do this stuff all day. I just sit and stare at my computer. I figured I would have known how to do this.
Oh, man. So, Trent, let's get into Delaware. I see a message get put out across Facebook. If anybody's looking to help out a race team, we need some help.
Yeah. So
I see Jeff in the background.
Oh, geez. Yeah. So I heard we were losing crew members. Sawyer due to mono, and Sam didn't have his passport. My dad didn't have his passport, so we were running thin. And I was like, man, I don't want to do all this work. So I figured I'd check to see if anyone could help out. We had a lot of people reach out, and I talked with Steve, and Steve had mentioned that he had some people that said they would come that actually ended up falling through. So it ended up just being Steve and I, and Mike Ling, which has run Samet's backup car, came down and helped us out a little bit through the night. So that was a big help, just having an extra pair of hands checking bolts, checking tires, checking whatever.
Right. So explain how did they start off? Like, how did the car? I mean, how did they handle after the first? Did you guys have any hiccups at all? Like, firing the car or anything like that?
No, Steve. I mean, that's probably the reason I've stayed with these guys for so long. Their cars are just always right. Steve works his butt off in the shop, and we typically don't have any, issues. So it was good that we unloaded and the car was fast, right? So we practice with old tires. A lot of guys in ISMA have new tires, and we still try to stick to our guns and be cheap and run old tires. We think it might help us in the races. But anyway, we had last year's tires on, and I got out there and I ran a couple laps, and I said, oh, well, the car feels good. And I kept pushing it, and it kept taking it. And I was like, wow, okay, car feels really good now. And so we made some adjustments for the second practice session, just minor stuff, right? And I go out and push the car, and it, we made it better and came in. I said, yeah, I don't know how we are on speed, but the car feels good. And Steve was like, hey, you clicked off fourth quick. So we were happy with that, especially with old tires. From there we messed up qualifying. The new tires gave us too much grip, right? And Stagger didn't come out to where we wanted it to for qualifying, but still, I think we still qualified like fourth. Car was stupid fast. I couldn't have asked for a better car. That's for sure.
How I've always heard rumors about. I've never been to Delaware before, but I've always heard that that's a very rough and bumpy track, and that was years ago. It's maybe 10 or 12 years ago. Is it still the same as it was the last time you raced there?
No. So they've repaved it, and the place was freaking awesome. So it was one of those tracks that I didn't mind going to, but that wasn't my favorite just because of how hard it was on the car, right? Mm-hmm. Like one year I had the steering shaft fall apart. Like I was going down the back straightaway, and the steering shaft, all the knuckles came apart going down the back straightaway, and I was like, oh, this is fun. So so the track was historically rough. Everybody in ISMA knew it was rough. Everybody in ISMA said, hey, when you leave there, replace all your suspension components because they're going to break, right? So they repaved it, I think, right around COVID time, and we haven't been back there since, right? So I remember it was kind of funny. There was we always called it like a roller coaster. It was a bump, and then a big uphill, and then a huge drop off, and then another uphill. So like you'd come off a 4 and you'd hit this bump, and then the car would bottom out, and then the track would fall away. So that you'd bottom out the car, and then the suspension would go full travel. So you would bottom the shocks out the other way, and then you would hit the ground again. And that was in the straightaway. So it was just it had a lot of character. We always had speed there, but we never finished well. So, but anyway, they repaved all that, and it was all gone. The track was really, really smooth in the straightaways. You know, I came out of 4 for my first practice lap, and I kind of tensed up getting ready for the roller coaster, and it wasn't there, and I was like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
So they probably just ground the track down and then just repaved over that and just made it nice and flat again.
Yeah. So it looks like what they did. There's concrete in the corners. They didn't touch the concrete, but it's asphalt everywhere else. And it looks like they took maybe say 2 or 3 grooves of asphalt and they ripped it all up all the way around the track. So way out by the wall in the corners, they never touched. And then way down at the bottom of the straightaway, they never touched. They just really touched the groove. I guess they tried to save money, which it worked out, right? They just really touched where the race cars are racing, and they repaved all that, and it got rid of the roller coaster on the front stretch, and then there was kind of an uphill coming off of 2, and then kind of goes downhill the back straightaway. There was a bunch of, like, I always called them chatter bumps, like they're real fine bumps that would cause traction issues. Those were all gone, right? So the track was actually fun to race this time around.
Yeah. With the new pavement, did it feel more racy now? I mean, I watched you race right around, Mikey. It just it seems like it might have opened up more racing now with how they did it.
I think it probably did. This was the first time I had raced this car there, so I don't have a great previous example. I mean, my car was just on rails, so anytime your car is on rails, it makes it easy to race. But I do think I do think it probably helped in the sense of, when we're going down the straightaways, the previous track, a lot of times we were just pointing and shooting and hoping we made it to the end of the straightaway because the car would be all over the place. Where, like, this time you could really control the car and point and make a move, and you knew it was going, well, I don't know if you knew it was going to stick, but you had a better feeling that it was going to stick because you didn't have to deal with a bunch of bumps and rough track.
Right. Now, logistically, you live in North Carolina, right?
Yes.
So you have to fly up to majority of the races. Do you do any driving? I mean, how far of a drive is that? Because you're right around Mooresville, right?
Yeah, so we're a little bit outside of Mooresville, Salisbury, which is basically straight east of Mooresville. But no, actually, because the wife and kids like to come along, and she won't let me go by myself. We drive to all the races.
Whoa,
so
man. That's a fun Sunday drive, huh?
Yes, it's a little bit of a drive. I think total it was maybe 12-13 hours to Delaware, and then we took the camper and truck, and then we left the camper in Ohio. So then we'll grab the camper at wherever it makes sense to go to the next race.
Right. Because your next race will be what? You probably pick it up and take it to Berlin.
Right. So we got Oswego, but we won't take the camper to Oswego. We'll just drive up and figure out where to stay somewhere.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a lot of driving. Then you got to drive the race car on top of it too. So yeah.
Yeah, I usually have a running joke with close friends. I'll send out a Snapchat or video of me driving on the way home, and everyone else is sleeping, and I'm like, "What the heck? I just did this yesterday. Why am I still driving?"
Oh, so you guys kind of fumbled the ball in qualifying. you go into your heat race. You had a good heat race finish, didn't you?
Yeah. I with how the car was handling, I kind of wanted to push the car in the heat just to find out. We had old tires on in practice. I wanted to kind of see what it would do with the new tires and try to use that as another practice session to fine tune for the feature. And luckily Mark was pretty quick, so it really made me work for it, and it had me find some weaknesses in our setup. So we made some adjustments for the feature, and it was pretty lights out after that.
Okay, all right, yeah. So where'd you start at it in the feature?
Fourth. So
okay.
Yeah, I had a decent starting spot, and got a good start, and I passed Mo. I don't know, passed Mo for second kind of early, and then got some clean air, and was able to run the 61 down, which not a lot of people can say. So I was I was happy about that. And then
what does the in-laws say? So for you guys that don't know about this, all right, Trent is brother-in-law is Mike Ordway Jr. Okay, so when they're racing for the lead, this is probably a question that everybody probably wants to know. So let's go ahead and get it out now here on the show. What's the family dynamic when you two are racing for the lead?
That's a good question. I'm guessing they just don't watch. No.
Jessica, get your ass in here.
Yeah.
I want to know who's Jessica cheering for. She cheering for her brother, or she cheering for her husband? That's what I want to know.
She's probably cheering for whoever's trying to do the passing.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's just because over the last couple of years, like, you guys have really waged some wars, like at Oswego. I mean, here just last week also as well. Like, and obviously, you guys have a shit ton of respect for each other, but when you're on the outside of him, or if he's on the inside of you, or whatever, that you're going to. Is there a little bit of brotherly love with you guys? Like, does he squeeze you a little bit, or do you squeeze him a little bit, or is there nobody going to admit to this?
Hard to say. I think it probably depends on the track, right? Shorter tracks, we definitely don't give each other the room. Right. The faster tracks, I think you have to have a little more respect for everybody. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, we've had, that's good. We have had a lot of battles actually for leads in the last couple of years, which is kind of crazy. But I don't know. It seems like we're maybe 50-50, so that's probably helping keep us comfortable. Does
Thanksgiving dinner get a little awkward?
Yeah. So last year, was it last year? I forget which year it was. I spun him out on accident, and that wasn't good. So, but I think later in the year he ended up beating me at Oswego or something like that, and I called it even. I don't know if he did, but so we'll say that.
Well, we're definitely going to have to get Mikey on here sometime. We'll hear his side of the story when he has to say, I tried to get your father-in-law to come on here, so I had to go ahead and get the son-in-law on here instead. So,
yeah.
Not saying that you're the consolation prize by any means or anything like that, but just I definitely been trying to get Mike Senior to come on here, or as Jessica likes to call him, Big Mike. So yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. So racing down Mo's rotors look like they're on fire the whole time. Could you see that from behind him?
Yeah, I could. It seems like it's a certain, in my opinion, a certain brake company brand tends to get hot like that and glow. And a lot of those Allegresso cars tend to run those brakes. So it wasn't too terribly surprising from my side, right? I know people from the outside, that was kind of cool to watch. but yeah, so when he was on the brakes that hard that early, I kind of was trying to figure out where his weak point was and capitalize on it.
Right. And you want to go ahead and working your way around him. Then you set sail on. Was he in the lead? Was he in second when you passed him, right?
Mo.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Then you had to chase down Mike, little Mike, we'll call him.
Yeah.
He was on the lead. He had a nice little help you by a half a straightaway on you guys.
I don't know if it was that. I don't know if it was that far, but it was definitely 6-7 car lengths probably. And I started chipping away at it, and I started, I could feel the tires were starting to come in, and the car was responding to what I wanted it to do. So then I kept taking that a little bit further. And yeah, once I got to him, I just I got a run on the outside of him in 1 and 2, and it stuck really, really well. And I was like, cool, let's try this again. And we went down into 3, and I went to the outside, and I got all the way beside him, and I kind of expected him to kick it up a notch, and that didn't happen. So I just drove on by and kept on going, and man, the car was I haven't had a race car like that in a long time. So
well, I mean, once you literally took the lead, I mean, you tipped the bellboy and checked out. I mean, just go. I mean, you really did. You were the class of the field after that. In my opinion, people might disagree. Can't see how they can, but I'm always happy to see a good Ohio boy go ahead and go to ISMA and warm their asses up. It'll always be a rivalry with me. I've been around this since, the late 70s, all through the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s and stuff. And they've always picked fun at us Ohio guys. I was talking to Bobby about that on the previously, how they call them the heat race, series or whatever it is that they call them, which is sad. But I remember back in the day, they used to say the same thing about, MSS and MSA, that, we were the JV compared to ISMA. But now if you look at all the Ohio guys that are racing right now in ISMA, they're stout. They really are. I mean, between you and Tyler and, whenever DJ decides he wants to race an ISMA race, or Mike McVetta. How the hell can I forget Mike McVetta? Then you got Kyle Edwards, you guys are representing Ohio very well, So I appreciate it. It makes me feel good to see Ohio guy go ahead and win the race. But are you a sports fan at all, Trent?
I try, but just life. I don't watch it as much as I used to.
Yeah, trust me, life gets in the way of a lot of things. That's for damn sure. Yeah. So I seen Steve come down to victory lane. He was super pumped up, super happy. Obviously, I mean, you guys were literally a 2-man band, for the most part. I mean, you guys had, a guy come down and give you a hand. It looked like he whispered something in your ear when he gave you the hug. Can you share that with us, what he said?
Nope. No, Steve's last year we had a real shitty end of the season, so we were frustrated with how we ended the season last year, and worked Steve, more so than me, worked his butt off to make that car what it was on Friday, and I hope we can replicate that, quite a few more times this year. That's for sure.
So how'd the race go at Lancaster for you?
Sorry, plug it in my headset. So yeah, Lancaster, we kind of stepped on our dicks. I don't know how else to say that. We had an okay car in practice. We didn't have a lot of speed, but we were making some adjustments. The car was responding, and I thought we nailed it for the heat race. The heat race, I came in and I was real happy with the car, and we just we started doing our normal adjustments for a feature, and we just under adjusted. The car or the track, I think, cooled off way more than we expected it to, and from lap 1 I was sideways, so kind of sucked, because I going into the feature, I especially after Delaware and how the car felt in the heat, I thought we even starting 12th, I was like, hey, we're going to go to the front, right?
Right.
But we screwed that up and learned our lesson. Unfortunately, there's a caution on lap 4, and there's no other cautions. I would have came in to try something, but
right.
So that could put a damper on the weekend, especially after how Friday went. We were pretty excited about that, and
Okay, Jessica just said something here. So she just said something. It goes, if it was Big Mike racing for the lead with either of them, it's always Big Mike. So if Big Mike was racing against you and Little Mike, then she's going to cheer for her dad always. You got that?
Hold on a second. So, can you hear me, Willie?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, I lost audio.
Oh boy.
Okay, let me try this.
Can you hear me? Oh man. Nope, I can't hear you. Yep. It's all right. It's all right. Take your time. Take your time. Yep. So with that being said there, folks, we'll go ahead and get this right. We're having some technical difficulties right now. He's back on mute again. Oh, I got you now.
Okay, I can hear you.
All right, good. Did you see what Jessica put down?
Something about Big Mike, of course.
Yeah, she says if it was Big Mike racing for the lead with either of you two, she's always cheering for Big Mike.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
So,
numerous times I'll have to either do something on the car or something around the house, and if I put it off and I go, I'm not going to do that, she'll be like, fine, my dad will do it. That usually gets me to do it.
Take that, Trent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we talked about track conditions at Delaware. Now, for the people that don't know, and I'm sure a lot of SuperModified fans that watch, Dave, my co-host, I don't think that he does know, but the front straightaway is a drag strip. And they take the barriers down and they turn it into an oval racetrack. First time I went there was in the 90s with Fisher Jaycox racing back in the day. And to see them, because the pit road is the drag strip, and we would stand there, we would watch the guys transition off of 4 onto the straightaway, and the car would wave like this. Excuse me. Is it still like that?
Oh yeah. Yep. I don't know if it's probably not as bad. Our shock packages are a little bit better. But my first time there was, back in 2009. It was like my third super race. And I remember I was like, what in the world is this racetrack? It was all over the place. But yeah, I mean, this year I felt a little more under control, but you still had to deal with that transition, right? If you were on the high side coming off of 4, there was a pretty big drop off. You'd be up at the banking, and all of a sudden the track would just fall away. And it was like, oh, well, that was great. But then you would hit lane. I don't know if it's lane 1 or lane 2, but you'd hit the lane 1-2 rubber, and then you'd grip up right there, and then if you would go out to all the way to the wall, there'd be another transition where there's no rubber, and then the car would slip, and then you'd hit the rubber on the second lane. And then you would go, as soon as you would hit that second lane, you'd turn back down to go down into turn 1. So it was, an eventful front straightaway.
Yeah. I haven't heard anybody say anything positive about that racetrack. in all the years. Other than it's got a lot of character. Is probably the nicest thing I've ever heard about that racetrack.
Yeah, I would agree. It's got character. I would say the one thing that always, I've been there a few times, not a lot, but the one thing that always surprises me when we go back there is it is a pretty fast track. And it doesn't look like that from just looking at it, right? But once you get in the car, you're kind of hauling the mail there. So
right. Well, you got that. I mean, a big sweeping corner, going into one. Then like through two down the back straightaway, it's kind of like a dog leg, isn't it? Like you can just really just run it up and then just drop it into three.
Yeah. There's a lot of speed in the front stretch, right? I mean, it's a long, I don't know if everybody does, but I wasn't lifting until we were almost to the pit lane going into one, right? So it was carrying a ton of speed into one, and then you just try not to burn it all off through 1 and 2, and then essentially 3 and 4 you back off a little early and you get in the throttle as early as you can to get all the speed down the front stretch.
Okay, all right, yeah. There you go. You just got a little one lap tutorial from Trent on how to drive that track. That's pretty cool. Trent, I cannot have you on this show without talking about your bad luck at High Miler. Can we talk? can we, honest to God, talk about this right now? I mean, I got you for another 15 more minutes. I'm sure it's going to fill up at least 16 of it.
Yeah.
So your first time in a Super was what year?
Full time was 2009. I ran a car. It was for Gary Cambrera in 2008, and then I ran a one race or two races for Steve in 2008 as well. But full time was 2009. Yeah,
and in that amount of time, which has been about a good, we'll say a solid, what is that 16 years now? Yeah, 16. Well, this will be 16 this year.
It's a long time.
Yeah, you got a big monkey on your back when it comes to this race. I've seen you leave the park. What was that ride like? Going off of turn 3.
That sucked. That hurt.
Did something break on the car? It happened so long ago. That was like 12 years ago or something like that. It seems like.
Yeah, that was 2011. That was the year that I don't know, and that one haunts me a little bit. That car was a freaking rocket. I was just kind of taking my time, and I don't know, it was like 30, 40 laps to go, and I started pushing the car and caught up to Timmy J, which he was leading it at the time. Or shoot, I don't remember who was leading it, but I caught Timmy J, and we were racing through traffic, and he went low and I went high, and then he went high and I went low. So I was trying to get him in traffic, and I had to back out and follow him through. So he went to the high side, and we were going down the back straightaway, and he was to the high side of a lap car, and I was following him, and we get to 3 and the lap car, I don't know, didn't turn. And I just jumped his right rear.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah. So I think there was. I know there's that YouTube video out there of it. There wasn't any. I think I cartwheeled up onto the wall. I mean, it was a pretty big hit. So it took that car was torsion bar rear. So the whole rear of the car was solid steel, and it took that right rear corner and pushed it forward like 7 or 8 inches. So it was a big hit, especially in the rear, which my whole racing career I hadn't taken a hit to the back, right? I mean, I've hit the sides and front, whatever, but that one threw me for a loop because I hit so hard, my hands came off the steering wheel and broke my ribs and all kinds of fun stuff. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I got in the car. Steve and Rich and all those guys, they got the car back together for the next MSA show, and I got in the car. It was at Lorraine, I think. Mm-hmm. I sat down in the car, and I hit my ribs with my elbows, and I was like, "Oh, that freaking hurt!" And that's how I found out how I hurt my ribs, because I couldn't figure out how I hurt my ribs. I was like, there's nothing for my ribs to hit in my seat, right? But yeah, so that one sucked. We've had a trip off of turn one out into the bean field too.
Yep. I was getting to next. You probably know what the third one's going to be. It's going to be the ball of flames. The fire.
Yep. That one. That one was kind of more recently. I think. I think the drive shaft. I think it was the drive shaft broke.
That might have been 2020. That might have been COVID year.
Yeah, I think the drive shaft broke.
Yeah, because I was flagging that race. So yeah, I remember that.
And then so 14, we set fast time on Friday, set fast time on Saturday. Was cruising around the heat race, and then it blew up. So just dumb luck. I think there was one year, was it 16 or 17? I passed DJ in the Bodnar car, was racing Lichty for the lead with under 10 laps to go and lap traffic. And I got to the inside of Lichty like twice, thought I was going to be able to get him, and caution came out. And then they didn't refuel us. And on the restart, I ran out of fuel. So, and our guys counted that we were over laps, but ISMA said they weren't. So I called that one fuel gate. I don't know. Just every way you found you can figure out how to lose that race. I think we've done it.
Is that your Dale Earnhardt Daytona 500 race?
I don't know. It seems that way.
Is there that marquee race that just like, man, I just want to win this race? Is the High Miler fall into that category for you, or is it just...
Yeah. I've kind of been joking around now that I'm a little bit older. If I win the race, I'm just gonna probably retire on the spot. Like, I'm done. go out on top.
Well, Steve, if you're watching,
yeah.
Well, I don't know. He's got 2 kids now, getting ready to get in supers. He got, so I don't know.
Yeah. I think Steve's hoping I stick around to so he doesn't have to put the kids in the big blocks.
I know Sawyer's chomping on the bit, buddy. He's already got the.
Oh, for sure.
He's got to take the backup car out a couple times. Well, once last year, right? He got to go out down to North Carolina.
Yeah, he did Caraway. I thought maybe there was one other place, but yeah, he did pretty good at Caraway. I don't talk a lot of shit. My wife does all that for me, but
Jessica, no.
Yeah. So Sawyer talks a lot of shit to me, at least. I don't know if he does to everybody, but him and I bullshit all the time.
Trent, I'll send you him and I's text messages back and forth between each other. You would think we don't like each other.
Yeah.
Messaging each other. So I'm glad I'm not the only one that gets that treatment.
So he anyway, he got in that car down there, and I know he walked away with that humbled, I guess. And he did he was hard on himself, but he qualified 4/10 off of me, and I was 4th quick, but he was 20th quick, right? So he was doing an okay job. It's always a lot of people underestimate how good the top 10, 12 cars are in ISMA.
Right.
And earlier with Timmons, you were talking, with Ness and MSA and MSS, right? There's 3 or 4 cars in both of those series, MSA when it was around and Ness now. They can run up front with ISMA, right? But the difference is when you come to ISMA, there's 10 or 12 cars that can do it. So it makes it tough, when people sit back and kind of see that there's a lot of different winners, that's usually why. But it's there's a lot of quick cars, and anyone can hit it. We nailed it at Delaware, and the car was a rocket, and we missed it at Lancaster. So it's pretty easy to do, and that's what makes it hard to run well the whole year with ISMA.
Right. You came so close last year to becoming the ISMA champion. You're looking pretty good in points right now. You're going to be looks like you're going to be battling your brother-in-law for the points championship right now by going off the points. Obviously, that's the number one goal, is to win races and win championships. But I mean, what's the ISMA championship going to mean to you? You won the Buckeye Super Sprints championship, correct?
Yep.
You won the MSA championship multiple times. You won an MSS championship. To add an ISMA championship, and everybody in the country knows that, you win an ISMA championship. That's the creme de la creme. That's the best super modified championship that there is out there in the nation, whether you're in the West Coast, the East Coast, the Midwest, wherever. Not to put any pressure on you or anything like that, but I mean, does that lurk in your mind, like since the merger, that you want to get this championship?
Yeah, it does. We that first, I think it was the first year that I drove this car. I think it was like 22 or whatever it was. I had, we had that first car that we won all those championships with, and we built a new car, and we found speed in that car, but we didn't find consistent speed. And I was kind of getting beat down, right? I was driving my ass off and didn't have the results to show for it. Steve built the new car for DJ, and then DJ wanted to focus on Oswego. So I jumped in that car, and immediately I was like, wow, we've been missing some stuff with that other car for so long. And hell, we almost won the championship the first year in that car. We stuffed the fence at Oswego, and that ruined our chances that year. And
right.
So that kind of lit a fire under me. It reminded me of what it's like to be able to have a car that's capable of winning almost every night. So I kind of honed back in. I think Steve's honed back in. I know he's working his butt off. Our crew's not what it used to be, and Steve has to pick up those pieces. I know we're both focused on, especially the way we lost the championship last year, leading it the whole year and screwing it up at Evans Mills. We were hard on ourselves, and we went to work. So hopefully that pays off for us this year, and we can continue to have good races, good finishes, still have have the speed of the tracks we've had speed at, but then also pick up some more speed of the tracks we struggled at. So with all those changes, I was real happy with the car at Delaware, and Lancaster, it showed flashes, but we just screwed it up. So can't do that anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a long season. Trent, it's a long season. You never know what's going to happen. You got a lot of big races coming up. You got the doubleheader at Berlin. You always seem to run pretty good there. Sandusky. There's Friday night of High Miler. You always run good Friday night of High Miler. Yeah. Saturday, just maintain, man. Maintain on Saturday. Yeah. I hope you win it. I'm coming up to flag it, so I hope you win it. I hope I can take that monkey off your back in victory lane. I really do. God, if there's anybody out there that deserves to win it, there's two Ohio guys that deserve to win the High Mile. One is Doug Sonnier. He should have won that race 2 or 3 times. The second one is you. Hands down, bar none. If there's a driver that probably should have won the High Miler, definitely you. I don't want you to go out. And, Doug has had a historic super modified career. Nothing taken away from him, but I know the High Miler was that one race that, he really wanted to win. I know he would have gave up a couple race wins to go ahead and win that one. But I really hope we can get that monkey off your back this year up there at Sandusky. I could say up there for both of us because I'm in Florida and you're in North Carolina. So yeah,
right.
So yeah. Well, with that being said, I did my homework, and I'm going to ask you some. Hopefully, you did your homework, and when I had Bobby on, and you can answer these questions here. So,
okay.
If I go into the cupboard or into the pantry, what's that one snack that Trent has to have?
Oh man, most of the time it's chips and salsa. We always have chips and salsa. So queso, guac, salsa, all of it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. When it's the off season or whenever the weekend you're not racing, what is the Stevens family doing?
Oh gosh. Well, usually it was just trying to get stuff done around the house. But
Michael just do it anyways.
Right. No. Yeah. We've got. I've been building stuff for the kids' rooms and out of wood and all kinds of other fun stuff. But I think now it looks like it's going to be taking a turn. We're going to be doing racing with the kids, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, not to get off. I mean, how's that going? Because don't they have your quarter midget from when you raced?
Yeah. So all we've done is a rookie training, so we haven't done much.
Okay.
But they're ready for it. They're excited. We didn't even get back to the house, and they were like, "When can we go back and practice?" So luckily for us, the track is 10 minutes from our house.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So that makes it super nice. And then we actually bought another car yesterday, so now we have 2 cars. And so now it's going to be me teaching them how to work on those cars and getting them ready and practicing.
Yeah, it's good to see the next generation coming up. Because I remember when let's see, Eric Shiree, when he first got in a quarter midget, when DJ first got in a quarter midget, Mike McVetta when he first got in the quarter midget, and they're doing all this quarter midget racing and stuff. I didn't know you then, but you raced with Mike and a lot of those other guys and stuff. Coming up through through the years, and I'm sure you got some memories with those guys back when you with Mike. I mean, you raced with Mike as a kid, right?
Yeah, I mean that's. I would say Mike's probably my closest friend in Supers, right? And
right,
one of my closest friends, period. And it's from racing as kids, right? So he was a little bit older than us, than I was, so he got out a little bit earlier. But we've stayed close friends for a long time.
That's good. I mean, you guys raced with each other in sprint cars. You guys about broke into Supers together at the same time, didn't you guys?
It was real close. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very close. Yeah. So. All right, then. So we talked about the family. Okay. What's your favorite food?
Ooh, tacos.
Tacos. You're a taco guy. All right.
Okay. I could probably have tacos 3-4 nights a week, and I wouldn't complain.
Yeah. I do like a good taco myself. I know whenever my wife decides to make tacos, it's like we have tacos for like. She makes them for like a family of like 10. So we have tacos for like 3 straight days, which I'm not complaining by any means, honey. Not complaining. I love taco week, but yeah, so definitely I have to agree with that. Favorite alcohol beverage?
Alcoholic beverage, old fashioned.
Oh man, all right. An aristocrat. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know when, but we got into making our own drinks, and I got way down a YouTube rabbit hole and got all
Cool.
Yeah. So we have all kinds of fun drinks we make around on the weekends.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Ooh. Probably iced tea, sweet tea.
My man.
Yeah.
I'm not even, I'll let you guys in on something here. I literally got to buy the jug. All right. So do you guys see me jump off screen here? I'm filling up my cup because I don't want to be that savage and just drink some straight out of the jug on the show. So yeah, I love my tea. So, all right. Last question. Barring Oswego and Sandusky, and you know what? I'm probably going to know the answer to this, but barring Oswego and Sandusky, what is your favorite racetrack you've ever raced at?
Oh man,
stumping them.
Yeah, it's a toss up between Thompson and Toledo.
Really? I thought you were going to say Berlin. I'd have put money on Berlin. Yeah. I really would. Everybody loves Berlin. They really do. But Thompson and Toledo, huh?
Yeah. The Berlin's awesome, but it's hard to top Thompson and Toledo.
I heard from a racer's perspective, I've been there once. From a racer's perspective at Thompson, it's just you're going so fast down the straightaway. I talked to Jim Shirey, and he said he had to fix his nose wing because the car wanted to take flight. He said that the front end was just floating around, and he had to, turn the nose wing up. So, and I'm like, holy shit, that is flying. Toledo, very fast, high bank, half mile track. We'll probably never, super modifieds will probably never go back there again, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's,
I still want to break that record, but that's not going to happen.
I'll tell you a brief story about Toledo, and then we'll get into your sponsors and we'll sign off. But it was John Hinnis's first time there, and he was in a big block. This was, I don't know, like mid 90s, late 90s or something around there like that. And he says to me, and we're in the infield and the pit road, and John Hinnis tells me, he goes, let me know where Purley lets off at going into 3. I said, all right. So Purley takes his warm-up lap, goes through 1 and 2. He comes blaring down the back straightaway, and I'm watching him go into 3 and watch him come off of 4. And I watch him go back into 3 again. And I walk over, and he goes, where did he let off at? I said, John, I don't think he did. He goes, that dude's fucking nuts. Fuck this racetrack.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't think you did let off, John. So I was like, if you did, I didn't hear him. That's for damn sure. So yeah. So that's just how fast Toledo is. So do you have any sponsors? I know you got sponsors, people at crew members, everybody else you want to thank, family, all that stuff.
Yeah. The sponsors are Ken Buick, Ken Ganley Buick GMC, Real Racing Wheels, Schaefer's Racing Oil. I'm sure I'm missing a few. SNS Cleaning, SNS Racing. But those are the big sponsors. They've been with us for a long time, and it always helps us out. And then as far as the crew, it's obviously Steve, Sam Sawyer. I know they help on the car during the week. And
Does Sawyer really work on the car?
He seems to.
I bet he spends more time on his cell phone than anything, because I got the text messages to prove it. It sounds like you do too. So yeah.
And then then we got Steve Calhoun, Rory Calhoun, Chris Calhoun, Lee. Gosh, if I'm missing some, shame on me. But we've had a consistent crew for a long time, which helps and hurts because they're all getting a little bit older. But
because when you first started, those guys were in their mid 30s. Now they're in their mid 50s now.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm getting old too. I
know you are, because
I got gray hair everywhere.
I'm getting old too, and I know how old I was when you started racing, and I know how old I am now. So yeah, for sure. One thing about Father Time, he's undefeated. So he's all going to take us out one day. But yeah. So all right, got through the crew, everything else. Any family, anything like that you want to thank, Trent?
The wife, kids, parents, putting up with all my shit. I mean, it takes a lot of time, and we spend a lot of money, a lot of time in the car. So the fact that we don't strangle each other in the car is a good thing.
Okay, one last question. Who's better, Trent or Talon?
Oh, I think I would say me, but I think Talon would say him. So I'll put it this way: Talon knows how to win high miler, and I don't. So that's I don't know.
Yeah, he won a sprint car high miler, didn't he?
Yeah, he's won a lot of big races. Even going back to quarter midgets, he's won some national races, and I never did. So he knows how to win the big ones. That's for sure.
There you go. So Talon, if you're watching, you heard it right there. Your brother is giving you your flowers. So yeah. So Trent, that being said, man, I'm going to get you on. We're going to go from a start to finish. We're going to go through your whole career, probably towards the end of the season and stuff. Hopefully, next time I get you to come on here, you're going to be the 2025 ISMA champion. Mike D. Jr., if you're hearing that, I'm rooting for you too, buddy, and all my other super modified friends. But come on, man, give my boy Trent some love here, man. But Trent, I will tell you this though: people that comes on the show, they have good luck. There's good luck that happens to the people that's come on this show. If you go back and look at all the videos of the people that came on this show, good things have happened to them. I've had Otto on, he won the championship. I had Tyler Thompson on the week before the Classic. He wanted to win the Classic. I had DJ on, he wanted to win the championship. I had, who else? Oh, I had Dave Hellwell, had him on. He wanted to win the Smack championship. So I got you on now.
Hey, we'll take it.
There might be the tight end loose out, some luck there, man. And if it happens, I'm good. If it doesn't, it wasn't my fault.
Gotcha.
All right, Trent. So thank you for coming on, buddy. I appreciate you, man. And I'll see you here in about 6 weeks.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, Dave, we ran over by 9 minutes. I'm sorry. Go ahead and take it out of my paycheck. But Rich DeWitt, I'll see you on here, brother. I'll see you on here. So yeah, but Dave, thank you so much for giving me a platform to come on here and do this show. I want to say thank you so much to Bobby Timmons for coming on here and being a guest. Thank you so much to Trent Stevens for coming on here and being a guest. God, Dave, I hate this close-up view, man. Like, ooh, it's gray. It's gray in the beard, brother. I don't know.
You think that's bad? Look at mine. Jesus Christ. Look at that beard.
Yeah, so and then you go back to me again. So I might have to go ahead and get a sponsor for just for men, just for me and Dave. Could you imagine us coming out here with our natural beard color? Not 20 years off, this brother. Hell yeah. So, but no, and thank you to everybody tuning in. For you guys, please like, share, love it. Even if you don't like something I said, just throw a mad face up on there. Just throw us a reaction. We don't ask for money from you guys. And the only thing we ask for is for you guys to like it, love it, and share it. And I greatly appreciate all you guys. I will see you guys next week, next Wednesday, 7 p.m. I don't have a guest yet, but if you would like to be a guest on the show, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'll bring you on. I honestly feel, yes, right, Country Roads, brother. Yep, WVU, eat shit pit. But I think maybe next week there might not be a guest. I think we might have an educational class about super modifieds and how many there are just between the Midwest and out east. I've been sitting on this and waiting, and Gene's kind of excited for this. If I do it next week or not, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. So, but if you'd like to be a guest on the show, don't be shy. Please reach out to me. I won't even put it out there like, hey, you reached out to me because you want to be a guest. I've already had 2 people on last year that reached out to me that wanted to be a guest, and I never put them out there like that, and I'm not going to. So it helps me out. Trust me. I got Brian Strickland breathing down my throat. I'm on a cruise, and he's telling me, hey, by the way, this right here, this old logo and everything, that's all done by Brian Strickland and Strickland Designs, so throw up some love to my boy Brian Strickland. But he's on me, and he makes the posters for me, and he says, hey, Willie, who's the guest? I'm like, brother, I'm trying to find him, man, and they just ain't even answering or ain't calling me back or whatever. I went on a nice little streak. I had like 5 straight guests all lined up in a row. And it just, but now it's starting to dry up a little bit. But if you'd like to go ahead and be a guest on here, be more than happy to have you on here. I really would. And a lot of people like to go ahead and know who you are and what you're about. I got a couple ideas of who I'm going to get on here, but we'll see. We'll see. So with that being said, Dave, I'm going to tip the bellboy and I'm going to check out.
All right, guys. You guys have a good week, and we'll see you next week here.
All right.
Tight end loose out.